Members of the Taylor family, and if the cameras are in position, I introduce them all to you. Obviously, this is Kate Taylor sitting here to my immediate left, and James Taylor, and Alex, and Hugh, and Livingston Taylor. That was just terrific. It's a joy to have you, and thank you all for being here tonight. I really appreciate it. Absolutely.
Thank you. Thank you. Our pleasure.
It's going to be a little bit difficult for you and I to have a face-to-face conversation.
Just slap me on the back of the head.
All right, I will, but I hope I don't kick you in the behind with my size 13s here. The concert or the appearance at Martha's Vineyard recently, how did that go for you? I think that was the first time on stage as the family. How was it? How did the audience like it? How did you feel about everything? How did it go?
Great. They loved it. Fantastic.
It was a little bit rough, but it was really, it was real nice. Yeah.
Looking forward to the appearance in New York at the South Street Seaport. I think that's tomorrow night for the benefit of saving old ships down there. This is
save some old ships.
This is New York, and audiences here expect, you know, #1, the best, the best. Are you a little nervous about it?
Well, I think hopefully they will have come to the right place.
Yeah, it's going to
be the best.
It's going to be the best.
But to tell you the truth, we could sing "Row, Row, Row Your Boat." And it sound great when you got all these guys up here with you on stage, you know. So people seem to really respond.
As a matter of fact, that's our best number.
What, row, row, row your boat?
Saving
Out of 5 children, you all sing very well. That seems unusual. Usually out of 5, one may not be able to sing, one might not have a voice, but you all have voices. Have you always sung together?
We've always we're very close, you know, and we've always we're close in age too. My mom had 5 kids below the age of 6, so we're close in age, and
it's a lot of diapers.
A lot of diapers, and you know, and in being so close and spending so much time together, the singing is a natural way of you know, saying, you know, here we are. You know.
Sometimes it was harmonious.
Well, like, did you have 5 separate showers down the line, and you all went?
We had one large shower that was about the size of.
We did. Oh, serious?
And it was tiled. It sounded like a squash court or a handball court, and it was a wonderful place to sing. And I think that piece of architectural design is responsible for our singing. And if any of you parents out there want to encourage your children to sing together, I suggest you build a large room that has good acoustics in it, and leave them in there with a lot of water.
And a lot of Clorox.
That's all I could tell you.
Was it ever the 5 Taylor kids against Mom and Dad? You know, kids have a way of ganging up and pulling tricks on the parents and doing stunts and stuff like that. Can I assume it was the same way in the Taylor family?
We had a great one we used to pull. Remember that cable car?
Oh, God.
We had this cable car strung between a couple of trees, you know, one end of the field and the other end. And my mother, she was terrified of us falling out of that damn thing. And,
it was a T-bar like this.
So yeah, it was like a pulley on a T, and you sat on it and jump on off this platform and slide way down across the field. Well, we'd take a log up the top of the platform with us, go out across them and get over top of them big poplar trees with big branches, and drop it and holler, you know, as we drop it.
And the thing was crashing through the trees and
breaking off limbs and stuff.
Come running out.
Yeah. Who built the still?
that was LT.
He was interested in biochemistry and
Tell about it blowing up in the kitchen.
Scientific. Well, I built this still, and you know, there's something about being from North Carolina. If you're from North Carolina, it seems to me it's just it's a birthright where you got to build a still at least one time. So I filled this. I didn't build a very good one. I filled a glass container up with sugar and water and some corn and stuff, and I let it ferment a while. And I took it in. My parents were out of town. We put it on the stove, and the bottom eventually it blew up, and there was a big sea of this sour mash flowing all over the. And my parents were due back in about 3 hours, and I had, you know, I was burned here, and you know, James came in and took one look at me. He said, "You watch TV," and he goes, "All right." I called up the neighborhood kids, and we mobilized. And Kate was doing the laundry, and Hugh and James were cleaning the stuff up.
We had a couple of
the drawers were full of mash.
The kitchen drawers were full of sour mash.
My folks had been out at a cocktail party and couldn't smell the difference.
Why has it taken so long for the 5 of you to get together on a stage and make music?
We were together, James and I, early on, like 14, 15, 16, we were in a band together in high school, did fraternities and stuff. And then I guess we sort of separated different parts of the country, but all ended up in with more or less separate careers.
You know, Alex is the guy who put together this band, the Corsairs, and he was responsible. He was the first guy to fight with my dad about having long hair, you know, and be able to play in the band. It really, and it smoothed the way for all of us to be able to make music. Alex wore them out, and by the time the rest of us came along, they were just too tuckered to fight.
They used to hide all my Ike and Tina Turner records.
Yeah, that's right. So he didn't like the cover of Mockingbird. Dynamite album.
We're giving them. We're going to have trouble getting home after talking this way about it.
That's true. Hey, Ma, hey, Pa.
Speaking of home, most of the time that's Martha's Vineyard.
For us, Livingston lives outside Boston. But he's
You know, I got a little house down there.
How does Martha's Vineyard react to the whole Taylor family being there all at one time, each with their own distinct personalities, yet all, I suspect, given to a little trouble now and again?
Trouble?
They'll probably be angry with us for publicizing the place. There's always a contingent of people that says, "Don't mention this island on the television."
I think that Mrs. Onassis has given the Vineyard sufficient publicity
She
didn't go on TV and talk about it. You know.
She's a great addition to the community.
What are... Yes.
I don't think he's being facetious.
That's right.
Matter of fact, Hugh is the
We
fire
got
chief.
Gucci's on the cliffs now.
Hugh is the fire chief in Gay Head, which is the name of a community on Martha's Vineyard, and since he has been the fire chief, I understand there hasn't been one single fire up there.
Well, we have an occasional dump fire. I got a feeling there's a fella in town that doesn't like to see the trash build up, and he's lighting them all off.
I wonder who it is.
But no, we haven't. We have a small volunteer company, and we get a call every 3 or 4 years. You know, the big trick is keeping the trucks running because they get kind of it's like a mothball fleet.
The volunteer fireman is the unsung hero of American culture. They are a brave and wonderful bunch of folk.
Letters on that.
The volunteer firemen.
Absolutely.
They'll drop their hammer and saw and run away.
How is being around your brothers different now from the way it was when you were the only girl in the family and you were all growing up together?
No different.
Let's see, we don't take showers together anymore.
True.
Let's see, what else? Well, they're real sweet to me now.
Were they then?
Yeah, and they've all got wives, so they know how to treat a lady.
Right, thanks, Kate.
Yeah, thanks, Kate.
Who's in charge of the demolition derby up there? Is that Hugh?
Gee, yeah, we have
This man runs is this the kind where 32 cars start out and the last one that's able to roll without the fenders being knocked off is the winner of the race? Is that?
Well, it's sort of a variation on that theme. It's me and a friend of mine, Carl Wittes, has a towing service. We wanted to get together with our friends and smash our cars up. And so on Columbus Day weekend, we have the Columbus Day Crunch. And it's a 20-lap course, and the first one to finish it, the 20 laps, wins, but there's no rules. If you got a slow car, you can just slam the hell out of
pile it out of the way, yeah.
And it's great. It's sort of like actually a motocross course, but with big automobiles on it, and it's really funny.
All success at the concert tomorrow night at the South Street Seaport Museum here in New York, and thank you again for being here with us tonight. All the members of the Taylor family, Kate, Alex, James, Hugh, and Livingston Taylor. Thank you all very much. I've never done an interview this way in my life.